What's up, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Teen Mom 2 baby mama Lauren Comeau has officially broken her silence about the breakup of her relationship and engagement to Teen Mom 2 dad Javi Marroquin, whose ex-wife Kailyn Lowry accused him of trying to sleep with her in a Wawa parking lot behind Lauren's back. In her since deleted Instagram story, Lauren tearfully recounted how she found out about the Wawa parking lot the day before she and Javi were set to put a deposit on a house together. If you ask me, she dodged a massive bullet, and she is lucky that she found out that day and not the day after or the day of a deposit. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot easier to walk away from a house that you have not yet put any money on, and you know, getting a house with a boyfriend who's already cheated on you multiple times is not exactly the smartest idea anyway, Lauren. Now, she also talked about how upsetting it was that two people can be okay with causing someone that much pain, and I 1000% agree with her. I think that there's something wrong with people like this. If what it is that she is accusing Javi and Kail of doing, which is sleeping around behind her back for a couple of years, a lot more than what we already know, is in fact true. When she talked about finding out about Kail and Javi from the kids, I initially thought that she found out that they had been hooking up, but apparently the issue is that Javi bought Kail's old car, and so Lauren might feel a little bit slighted by that. And listen, the two of them broke up in October. Of course, Javi and Kail are still in communication because they do share a son together, and so maybe it did come up that, you know, Kail wanted to get rid of a car, Javi wanted to upgrade his car, and then it kind of worked out that way. I don't know that I believe that it necessarily means that they are trying to get back together or anything like that, but Lauren actually says, listen, ever since our relationship fell apart, his relationship with her has gotten better, so I can see from that perspective why she is a little bit suspicious about their motives behind this. And you know, to be honest with you guys too, Javi and Kail both flaunting this on social media leaves a bad taste in my mouth as well, because they knew exactly how this would be perceived by viewers of the show. So it really does seem like they took yet another opportunity to publicly humiliate Lauren, who really hasn't done anything to deserve this. But as much as I do empathize with Lauren, I do have to call her out for playing at least a little bit of a role in her own heartbreak that she is currently going through. She complains about how, you know, they've got each other and other, like, you know, people to help them through these kinds of situations, but she is left to pick up the pieces alone with no family and friends. But you know, this is why you think before you move across the country to get pregnant by a well-documented cheater. Javi was being accused of cheating on Kail throughout their marriage on two different shows, Teen Mom 2 and Marriage Boot Camp. You know, there were so many articles going around about this, and he also called you, Lauren, his third choice on television, and you still decided to uproot yourself from your family and friends to play house with him. He was literally in Miami wiping Brianna's ass on Teen Mom 2, you know, from her botched Brazilian butt lift, while you packed your bags to move to Dover to be with him as a grown-ass woman who knew exactly what it was that she was doing. You know how condoms work, you know how birth control works, you know how abortions work, you know how Plan B works. Like, there were a million options that could have prevented this, but you know, the best option would have been to just watch that show and see the way he talked about you like you were nothing to him, and decided to just not move forward with a relationship or quit while you were behind at that point. Anyway, she does acknowledge that she did have a little bit of a role in all of this when she says that she should have listened to her gut and basically ran when Javi showed her who he was the first time. And you know what? I'm glad she did. We've all been there before, myself included, so I can't even fault her for that. But you know, as she was kind of wrapping up her discussion about the relationship and why she's so heartbroken right now, she says that, you know, if you see Javi driving around in a black Suburban today, now you know why. Kind of like clockwork, Javi then posted, you know, a video of him saying goodbye to his white SUV, and then he posted a photo of his new black SUV. And around the same time, Kail posted about upgrading her car from the same dealership. Again, like I said earlier, it's a little disrespectful for them to be playing cat and mouse like this on social media, knowing what it would do to Lauren, who doesn't have that much insight, or any insight, I should say, into what it is that happened to kind of broker this deal, besides what one of the kids kind of like told her in passing. Like her mind is probably racing, trying to figure out what happened with you guys. Did Kail, like what? Like did Kail give this car to you? Is this like kind of like you guys trying to get back together? And so you're starting with the car, then before you know it, like listen, Kail talked about conceiving Lux in the back of that black SUV that Javi just bought. So yeah, no wonder Lauren is pretty damn upset about this, right? We all know what happens in the backseat of that car. And I think it's the same car that he tried to bang her in the Wawa parking lot in. So it does carry a lot of bad memories, and it is in poor taste for Javi to buy it from Kail. I don't understand why he couldn't just get another SUV, used SUV from another dealership, or even the same dealership, but from a different owner. You know, after her Instagram live session, Kail kind of came for Javi and possibly Kail's parenting as well by sharing a quote about parents bringing chaos into their children's lives. Listen, we all know that Kail loves to brag about having a chaotic life, so that's why I'm kind of adding her into the shots fired. The quote said, and I quote, "As parents, we are accountable for the chaos we bring into our children's lives as well as our own. Most of the chaos we experience is the chaos we allow." And she says, "If anyone else is in a similar season of life, I found this page helpful. Tomorrow's a new day." You know, I do have to call it out though. Again, you guys, I think the last line applies to her too. It says, most of the chaos we experience is the chaos that we allow. She knew Javi didn't respect her before she moved to Delaware, and she still went ahead. Kail has been very vocal about Javi trying to hook up with her behind Lauren's back over the years, and she still kept on in that relationship. And then he even spat in Lauren's face when he banged someone that they both knew in the downstairs bathroom of the home that they shared while she was upstairs putting their child to bed, and she still went back for more. I mean, come on. Javi kept telling her, "Listen, Lauren, I ain't shit." And she kept saying, "Okay, but are you pissed? Because I'll take piss," you know, and this is what happens when you do that, unfortunately. Javi and Kail are not too pleased with Lauren kind of putting them on blast, and so they've since reached out to a couple of outlets to clear the air. Javi told In Touch, and I quote, "While I've tried to avoid a he said, she said situation by staying quiet, the accusations Lauren made against me this afternoon on Instagram are false. My only focus right now is creating healthy co-parenting relationships with both Lauren and Kail for the sake of my boys and bettering myself." Well, Kail's PR rep told the Ashley, and I quote, "Kail is disappointed that a business arrangement over vehicles today was blown out of proportions. All insinuations made against her on Lauren's live were false." You guys, I think that I totally see why Lauren is upset and heartbroken, and I really feel her pain, y'all. I was in the same place this time last year, but thank God I did not have a kid. And yeah, like I get it. It really is the end of the world, and it takes a long time to get out on the other side. But I think, you know, one day, like maybe next year or something like that, or in the coming months, like she'll just wake up one day and realize, like, thank God this happened. Because to me, it seems like she's a really loyal person who wanted to keep her family together and wouldn't have quit on that dream if it wasn't under extreme circumstances. And so maybe that's why the universe kind of made it happen like this, to kind of like tell her, listen, it's time for you to move on. I know you won't do this on your own, but there's so much better waiting on the other side. She's gonna look back and like thank God, thank the universe, thank whatever, that she didn't stay in that relationship and maybe have another kid with Javi. You know, I think her life is going to be in a much better place, and she'll find a much better person down the line, and all will be well. Javi is not the type of person that you even want to settle down with anyway, in my humble opinion. So be glad that he kind of forced you out of that relationship, because you will find someone worth settling down with. And that is for damn sure. Anyway, you guys, that does it. A recap of, oh my God, the drama surrounding Kail, Javi, and Lauren from Teen Mom 2. I really want to know, do you think that Javi and Kail are knocking boots, bumping uglies right now? Maybe even in the backseat of that car that Lux was conceived in? Are they trying to, you know, test the waters and see how it goes? Make sure to leave all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, and as usual, we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.